This week it's time for a special. Allow Not Gay Jared and I to whisk you away to the beautiful, tropical, trouble-free Hawaii. Little known fact, culturally and politically, Hawaii's a hellhole, being one of the bluest, most regressive states in the Union. With full-time regressive activists promoting ideas like a basic universal income of $1,500 a month for doing nothing, an $18 minimum wage, or entirely doing away with the Department of Homeland Security or ICE to enforce our own legal immigration laws. If it sounded too outlandish to be true, it did to us too, so we decided to head on down to the local leftist protest to see what they were about. All right, so we're on our way to the J20 planning meeting in Honolulu.
Whatever the hell that is.
I don't know what it is, but I do know that there's, again, the push for the living wage and, professional protesters. So I assume it'll be similar to the Grand Rapids College Socialist.
Their platform is resisting Trump.
Yes, the Trump resistance. It's the inauguration of resistance.
Yes.
And I don't know what that means. Now, unlike the times we've gone undercover, Not Gay Jared and I went to this publicly advertised open invitation meeting, very upfront about who we were. We just wanted to listen, to be civil, and you guess how that turned out. Hi, my name is Stephen Crowder. Jared, right-wingers, conservative, but always want to hear what other people have to say. Just visiting and seeing what the other half of the country believes and why, and trying to learn from it. So I think we're in an era where people have a hard time with disagreements and staying civil, painting their opposition as either whatever it is. It could be racist, it could be homophobic, it could be classist. It's just whatever the identity politics are of the day, and not a lot gets discussed. So
I do see that you're filming this.
I do. I have a blog. If that's okay. If not, he won't film.
No, it's not okay.
No. Okay. So, is there a reason why?
Because this is a private strategic meeting.
Yeah. Okay, strategic meeting. Okay.
Generally, I think you ask consent before you even film it if it's important to you.
Sure. Yeah. Usually in public spaces we don't have to, but we don't need to film.
Yeah, this is not a public space.
Yeah,
Okay. So you can ask me anything if you want any questions.
Where are you folks from?
My name's Stephen Crowder. I have a website called louderwithcrowder.com. So I'm trying to be as straightforward as possible. Libertarian, raised in a socialist province of Quebec. Saw the ramifications firsthand. Can't stand it. Don't want to see that happen to the country I moved to, but I'm always open to see why Americans would disagree with that.
And Jared, do you want to say something?
Yeah, I am. I work with him, support a lot of the same causes, and we just like to talk with people, and we like to engage with people from lots of different views to kind of understand and start an actual dialogue, which is something that doesn't seem to actually, because we talk a lot about starting dialogue, but we don't actually start a lot of dialogues. So.
Could you put your phone away so
Sure.
we know you're not filming?
Sure.
Can you say the name of the website one more time? I'm curious too.
Louderwithcrowder.com.
Louder with Crowder?
Yeah. CROWDER. Yeah, I know, it's confusing.
What's like the point of you guys being here?
Well, like I said, we don't want to come in and sandbag anyone, so we go to all these different functions. For example, on the show on Thursday, it was a syndicated show. We had a transgender individual named Blair White come on the show to talk about the trans-military ban. Disagree on some issues, actually agreed on a lot of issues. I hate the way that it affects people in the military with current pensions. I hate the way it was announced. I hate that a president who seems more keen to be tweeting than taking some action. But we have people on all the time who we disagree with, and we always just go out to any function wherever we are to see and explore ideas.
I'm not sure how I feel about this. I mean, we are actually here to do work and to communicate the work, the report back to one another the work that we have been doing. I don't feel comfortable having this as like someone's observational project, and I certainly don't want to take up time debating. J20 is very clearly anti-Trump and everything that agenda stands for, and we're not here at this is our meeting time. Right. We're not here to debate.
I'm not here to debate you. I'm just here to listen.
The camera's still going. It's on her legs.
Yeah. It's for fun. It's my foot.
It's got her shorts kind of in the middle.
Okay.
We've already asked you numerous times to stop that.
Stop recording, that's fine. Here's my, is it,
You need
said
to,
stop
do we
filming.
need to call security?
I'm just asking a question.
Okay, where's
I think call security.
Gentlemen,
I will gladly leave.
this is about civil society.
I know, and have I been rude?
It is uncivil to show up without permission.
But we asked for permission. I will leave, but we asked for permission.
That is
And the only problem was when we said we were conservative, and I've been very respectful. But now I am videoing because this is kind of the problem. No one ever talks.
Since you're videotaping, let's talk about healthcare. We don't need to spend $1 trillion per year on the administrative overhead of private health insurance. And so that's something I like to talk about.
Would you like to talk about it?
Talk about that.
Well,
But
I
I'll
was-
talk about that with you on your blog at another time.
No, I'm not going to give you the platform of the blog at another time. You can't just take a parting shot. See, that's kind of
You
cowardly.
came in here to take up our
But you
time.
just said you wanted to talk about healthcare.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to hijack their meeting to do it.
Oh, okay. So you don't know a whole lot about healthcare, and you want to
quite
prep
a lot
for it.
about it.
Yeah.
I know quite a
Well,
lot
I just buried 2 ants because of socialized healthcare. So it's passionate to me. Passionate issue. Leaving, we got it. We understand it.
That went about as expected.
That's the problem, is you can't say who you are, who you're with, without them kicking you out. Not only were we kicked out of this publicly advertised meeting for being aggressive, but they called the cops on us and posted warnings to all their friends on social media regarding, quote, alt-right trolls like myself, my wife, and this Not Gay Jared t-shirt. Which, by the way, is available at louderwithcrowdershop.com, along with our Socialisms for Fags shirt, and of course, Mug Club, to ensure that these videos continue. Thank you for the plug, Hawaii J20. Turned out that the local J20 organization were staging a protest at the federal building, demanding that we do away with the Department of Homeland Security and ICE. So we wanted to go on down and check it out, but this time, we had to lay low. I am Archibald Goldworthy, and this is my esteemed colleague, Oliver Barnsby. Oh, yes! It is a fine day to protest our legislative officials when it comes to matters of national security.
And the ones that are filming over there, they're all together.
Are we not here to engage in civilized protest? I beg your pardon, what seems to be the problem, ma'am?
He's filming him, right? And they're filming. So they can film. Pardon? They can film.
Turns out professional protesters don't know anything about actual laws. Oh, this young man appears to be under duress.
If you start creating a disturbance, you're going to get cited and arrested.
What might I ask is the problem, good sir?
You can do what you want, but you guys doing all this, creating a disturbance, you're going to have to be proper.
Okay. Is it not a fine day for protest? It's not a dance. Did they warn you beforehand that they were protesting today and going into these offices?
No.
This must be some new form of dance. One which they discuss as a hashtag. Okay.
You keep coming every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday. To the right. And to the left. Are neither of them gainfully employed? That seems to take much time away from my travels and work. What an enjoyable procedure of expressing oneself. To the right.
Even the public, don't agitate them either, okay?
Hold on a second. These people are the agitators. Every Tuesday, they agitate. It's their thing. They have a hashtag, Resist Trump Tuesday, which loosely translates from Hawaiian to English, we're agitating pricks every Tuesday. So unlike the childish tantrum-throwing left, we decided to wait our turn. And wait our turn. And continue waiting our turn. Officer, might I have a word for a moment? Because I do believe there are issues of the utmost importance which could require your attention. Let us inform you that we, of course, are much more on your side of legends supporting your policies and, of course, hashtag backing the blue. I find that if you do research with the people who are entering the office right now, you'll see that's not the case. So we are here to exercise our rights freely in support of those doing the tremendous job keeping us safe.
Understand what you're doing, though. You're agitating them, though. That's what you're doing.
Yes, I can understand why they might feel that way.
You start advertising people, try and make them act out, that's the issue.
Oh, we wouldn't want to make anyone act out. That's why we've been of the utmost politeness.
If you try to do anything with their protest, going ahead and...
Are we not allowed to protest the policies they protest?
Like right now, you're trying to mock them. That's what you're doing.
Well, it is very difficult to
I'm
make an
just saying-
appointment and have a
I'm just
discussion in a civilized manner with people who refuse to do so. That young man with the sweet voice just gave us a fantastic name. He referred to us as protesters protesting protesters. Ooh. That has a nice ring to it. So you want us to wait for them to enter? And enter at a later time?
At a later time, that's fine.
Okay. Funny how at the first threats, they went to the police. It is ironic, isn't it, for people who despise our officers in blue to run to you the moment they feel as though they are uncomfortable. Or not even due to violence as they perform themselves, simply for a camera being running. Indeed. I talked with a stranger, so long and follow.
Like I said, we just gotta make sure we're not stopping the flow of going inside the building and coming out. That's the confusing thing.
Absolutely not. But might I ask, is it not disrupting the flow for them to go in and professionally protest every Tuesday? It would seem as though that could be slightly inconvenient. Would you not agree? For he went to heaven at the first fall of snow. I do believe the story here is the unfair treatment of people who seek to be civilized versus those who act like children. Children? No. Officer, might I ask, were you present when they staged the protesting die-in? They did this Saturday, where they reenacted the act of dying in protest of modernized healthcare. I shall engage in a reenactment of my own. I do believe that it is time for me to retire to my permanent pine overcoat. If only I could have had other taxpayers' health care. Here, modern medicine brought to you by modernized privatized health care. Kaboosh, kaboosh, kaboosh. Oh, yes. Think about it.
Until one of the local leftists came back to accuse us of being Bosnian terrorists. I wouldn't have believed it either had I not actually experienced it. Let's go to the tail of the tape.
Are you speaking of us? I do believe she just accused us of international terrorism. Sir, that's a crime. Is that not more agitating to accuse us of terrorism?
She's done. She stopped. It was a brief 5 seconds, but once you keep...
But that could actually encourage violence against us.
Can you do me a favor? Just stop.
But sir, that's a crime. You understand? That's a crime to accuse one of international terrorism. I know my rights. She does not have the right to accuse me of terrorism in front of a police officer.
Yes, you heard correctly, Bosnian terrorists. But moving on as though that's normal, we learned something here that we never expected to learn. Turns out you don't need identification to enter the federal building at all if you're just collecting welfare or Social Security. You merely need an escort.
For escorts, those who have no ID, escorts will be at home.
Officer, a question. Is an escort used in lieu of identification? Are people not required to present ID at a federal building? That would seem odd, if not very secure. We know who they are. It would seem, at the very least, inappropriate where they came from. But many of them entered without identification at all.
They're not going up to see an elected official.
But that man had no teeth.
Yep, that's all true. So when it was time for Archibald and Oliver to enter the federal building, they knew what to do.
We request an escort.
Escort?
Unless I'm mistaken, I would very much appreciate the law explained to me.
That's for Social Security, though.
Please clarify that this might be confusing. I do not require a valid ID to go to the Social Security office to reap benefits, but I do to speak with my elected official. Okay. Then the Social Security office it is, with an escort.
Okay, just to let you guys know, the escort times are at 9:30 and at 1 o'clock. So you guys already passed that. So I cannot permit you guys in because there's no more escorts at this time.
So if we return tomorrow morning,
at 9:30,
we can come and claim our Social Security with our escort. What a fantastic country. Thank you, officer. Here, newly coined by that gentleman as protesters protesting protesters. I am Archibald Goldsworthy, and this is my esteemed colleague,
Oliver Barnsley.
And today we learn that you may show up without appointment to protest your local elected officials for departments like the Homeland Security and ICE, which they demand must be done away with at the taxpayers' expense. Also, very conveniently, we shall return in the morn without identification, requesting an escort to reap the benefits of Social Security. This is modern America, where discourse is discouraged, disagreement is stifled and not allowed, but Social Security without any identification is encouraged.
If you like this video, subscribe by clicking the subscribe button. It's in a circle now. It used to be a square, which most buttons aren't squares. Unless it's on a phone. There's square buttons on phones, but most buttons are circles. You understand what I'm talking about. Or watch the recommended video, which is popping up in a box, or subscribe at louderwithcrowder.com/mugclub. Join the Mug Club so you can get the daily show. And that means that you are not beholden to the YouTube censoring overlords. But let's be honest. You like being there where you are, under their thumb. Power bottom you.